You're just moments away from a brand new episode of WTF Nations Radio's Pop Culture Warrior, hosted by the dynamic duo CQ and Radar. Pop Culture Warrior is your number one source for all things entertainment. If it's happening in TV, movies, video games, or comedy, they're all over it. And don't forget to say hi in the comments below. And while you're at it, let the boys know what you think and what you'd like to hear them talk about. Now strap in and get comfortable, because you're in for one hell of a ride. This is Pop Culture Warrior. Shots.
Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Welcome, one and all. Today is July 20th, 2021. This is episode 65 of Pop Culture Warrior, the show where I stay up to date on all the ins and outs of what's happening in pop culture, so you don't have to. I am CQ. I am your Pop Culture Warrior, and with me is, as always, is my brother from another mother, the man in the bubble, the voice of the unpop cultured, Mr. Radar!
What's up, everybody?
What is up? Buddy, how are you, sir?
I've been better, but I've been worse.
Sorry about it.
Sorry about it.
It is Tuesday, baby.
It is, and it's been oppressively hot here. I know, like, other people are like, oh, it's hot here. Yeah, well, it doesn't here, and it's been like 100, and pretty sure my balls literally melted again today. It's ridiculous.
Hey, Bri, I see you. What's up? Thanks for joining us. Shout out to those I see on already. We got Scott, we got Ashley, or Heath, I guess that is it. Bri, what's up? Yeah. Woof. As you can see, I look horrible. It's been a rough week. I'm not gonna lie. It's been a rough week. And then tomorrow, I'm getting they're doing a procedure on my back. They're gonna shove needles into my spine. So, yeah. If y'all don't see me next week, I didn't make it.
I didn't make it.
I didn't make it. I don't know. I'm paralyzed or whatever.
Just Skype it from your hospital bed.
Yeah. If the next Pop Culture Warrior kicks off in like a, what's it, the funeral home, Just open casket CQ telling you what's the latest on greatest in pop culture. Put it on my tombstone. Anyway.
And then like old CQ is gonna come around the corner and hand me the shield.
Yeah. Don't think I will. Don't think I will. Hey guys. I'm excited. I'm excited. This is gonna be a good one because I don't know how this is gonna work out. I'm not gonna lie. Hey Scott, you like the flag? That that was a gift. If you're talking about this one right here, it's wood. I don't know, like reclaimed wood or something. It was a gift. A fellow wounded warrior gave it to me for my birthday, man. He made it with his hands. He does the thing, man. I should give him a plug, man. Like he doesn't sell them. Like he does them as gifts to people he's friends with or likes or whatever. I don't know, but yeah. I'll ask him if he wants to sell them. I'll plug his stuff. Hey Holly,
there's a group of vets around here that do that, and the ones they sell, there's a veterans home in Hot Springs, and they donate whatever funds they make from doing the flags. And
I
they do
all about veterans being creative. Like I always say it. When I was at my bottom, what really kind of pulled me out of it was getting creative, writing. I started doing stand-up comedy and just being able to be creative. And I know all the people that I'm close to, good friends of mine, that whether it's art, whether it's written, whether it's, I don't know, like shampooing horses, I don't know, whatever it is, just get creative and whatever it is, man, people dig it, they do better. But real quick, top of the show, while I got your guys' attention, I haven't bored you yet. Yes, Scott, it's a legit limited edition. That's a good call. While I got you guys' attention, we are this close to being nominated for a podcast award in the entertainment category for the 2021 Podcast Awards. For those of you who remember, we were nominated for the 2020, this close to winning, but we got nominated, which was a huge thank you to all the listeners out there who voted for us. So I'm asking you once again, if you would be so kind as to go to, and I'll show you what it looks like. Hey, Ray, you're gonna lose your screen here for a second because I'm gonna steal.
I don't like that screen anyway.
I'm stealing your bubble space. Here we go. Let me scoot over. So, podcastawards.com, www.podcastawards.com. Go to that page. You're gonna you click. I arrowed it for you. You click the blue bar. Okay. When you click that blue bar, you get a page like this. Fill it out. They don't keep your information. They'll delete it once. This is just for voting registration. Important to click this little box right here. This says that if the show or you could randomly be selected as like a final judge to determine who wins. So obviously, the more final judges we have that like our show, the more chance we have to win, right? It makes sense. So that little nubbin right there is kind of important. Don't do it. Whatever, it's up to you. But it helps us get closer to winning. Once you've done all that and you click the little blue guy right there, it's gonna take you to a page that looks like this. Many categories. I've circled the important ones. Entertainment category down here at the bottom, Pop Culture Warrior, and then the People's Choice, Pop Culture Warrior. You don't need to select any other categories. You can just pick the ones you want and then go to the bottom and hit submit. Also, while you're here, throw some love to our other WTF Nation radio channel. Sergeant's Time is in there under the news and politics category. Sergeant's Time. Can't miss it. Sorry, reading your cut. Jim says something fun. I just broke a window in my house because I cut down a small tree and it got away from me. So, yeah, fuck trees. I'm with you generally on that one. So anyway, Podcast Awards. I love you all. I appreciate you all, guys. If it's an honor. Radar, you're back. It's an honor to be nominated. Of course, we want to win this thing. But it's such an honor to be nominated, and it's because of you guys It's only through the votes of the fans that even get you nominated. So the fact that we were nominated last year means that you guys appreciate what we do. You voted for us, so thank you so much. Let's win this thing this year. So that out of the way, we've come to a moment. I think you guys will enjoy this. We've come to a moment where, in our last week's episode, we were chit-chatting about Loki, the show. And Mr. Radar accused me, verbally accosted me, if you will, and said that I had called his theory stupid and or dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Now I said, and I stand by that statement, that hey, these episodes are recorded. I do not recall calling your theory stupid or dumb, but if I did, regardless of if it turned out to be true, which it wasn't, turned out not to be true, but regardless, I would apologize publicly if I called his comments stupid or dumb. Now, because you guys are who you are, we had a fan out there that did a little smash dub editing to replay the events. Now, I will say it has a very skewed. It was not the facts. There's some trick editing.
Okay.
There's some trick editing to skew the viewer's opinion. But I will leave it to you guys to decide. So I'm gonna play the clip, and I want you guys to determine. You guys will determine if I need to apologize to Mr. Radar or if he can go suck it. All right? So we're gonna play the clip now. Stand by. My theory is that it's Loki.
I said it last week. You said it was stupid.
Not our Loki. Not our Loki.
Loki.
A Loki.
Stop. Because I said that a week ago, and you said that was dumb. I'm kind of mad at you right now. So I'm pretty sure you said that there's no way it's a fucking thing.
I refuse.
Pretty sure about it, dude. Pretty sure about it.
We will go back to the
Basically
tape.
called me stupid.
We will go back to the tape. I want it's recorded evidence. We're gonna go back to the tape. And we're gonna see if I will tell you this right now. If I said it's a Loki theory was dumb, I will apologize.
Okay.
If we go back and check the tape, I will publicly apologize to our man Radar here.
So we know the timekeepers are fake.
Right.
Ish.
These timekeepers anyway.
There has to be someone is in
Somebody's
charge.
doing something.
I have a different idea. And one of the guys at work and I were talking about this. What if it's another Loki?
Possible.
Because and here's the reason behind it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a far out there, and it's probably not. I mean, let's be honest.
It's possible. All right. So there you have it. That was the clip from last week and spliced together with the clip from a week or two ago. And I mean, come on. Guys.
Come on, what?
Guys.
You roll your eyes so hard it makes your neck hurt.
But
and then you're like, oh, I didn't call it.
You said I called it dumb or stupid.
Okay. We've both been married. Right? Sometimes it's not the actual words, but the body language says it all.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that people can agree that
to audience, it's up to you guys.
I did not use it. It's possible, and then you did the eye roll so hard, dude. It's like talking to my teenage daughter.
But the question was, did I say that your theory was stupid or dumb? Did I say it?
You didn't. You didn't say it. The words did not fall out of your face, but your body language said it all.
Sorry about it.
The body language said it all.
Not gonna apologize. And Scott, I see you. Don't do no apologies. There you go. I am not doing no apologies. We have it. Thank God these are archived and saved. I prove in front. I could take this to the Supreme Court. We could put this in front of the judge. I did not say.
Because
Now,
I would want to give them that kind of evidence. Because a better prosecutor than I could probably make the case.
thank you, Justine. Justine's got my back. Verbally, you did not say it. Sorry about it.
Okay. Yep. Sorry about it. That's right. But you said it without saying it. And
Okay.
that honestly, that hurts more. That hurts more because you're not a used car salesman. You don't gotta lie to me. You don't have to lie to me to be your friend, dude. Like, you don't have to make up some shit.
I got 2 words for you. Suck it. All right. Thank you, my faithful out there.
You
Did not say it. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That's right.
Man.
They got my back, man. They got my back. What's it? Sorry. Jim says, Radar bro, please. It sounds like you're going to bring this up in like 15 years when you guys are trying to enjoy a nice meal together. That's right. That's right. God bless you, man. No saying sorry because you're both men and can take crap.
I know what you want.
I was right. I was right.
I would say right.
I want to say right as so much as, you know, the evidence says. Anyway. All right. So there you have it. Now that we've settled the beef, all right? Now that we've put the beef to pasture, Mr. Radar, we got to see, we are just about 1 week removed, a couple hours or 1 week removed from the finale of season 1 of Loki. I'm so curious. What are your thoughts?
Well, it wasn't a Loki.
So I was right.
I think this is what big picture. Okay, this is what I wanted to see from these shows, these series that are coming out. I want to see it tied into the actual MCU, like where WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier, or Captain America Winter Soldier, whatever we want to talk about, whatever on that end. It did have a story that kind of paralleled it, but it didn't. I think as we get to, like build on those, they become something, right? But they introduced a major character in this series, right?
Yep.
Basically, the next Thanos level villain, right? I mean, from
absolutely.
what we understand, that
absolutely.
He's the next thing.
They're teasing that heavily, for sure.
I mean, yeah, and not in this iteration, obviously. And are they kind of Tarantinoing it too? Like maybe that's like the end of him. You know what I mean? And then we have to kind of, because. So
I get what you say. So the idea now, remember, you know, because obviously Thanos is such a big threat. Like it goes all the way back to Avengers 1 that we saw the tease, and then little by little they gave us a little more until we got the big. You know, the big finale, the big version of him, the big badass version of him. I think they're going to do something very similar with Kang the Conqueror. That we got the tease. Now, technically, that wasn't Kang the Conqueror that we saw. That wasn't. That was the He Who Remains. If anything, Immortus. He was more closely related to Immortus, the character. The guy at the end of time.
Who was also King the Conqueror.
Who was also a version of King the Conqueror, correct.
Right.
So the idea being that, like, look, this was a guy who won the multiversal war, kind of kept it all together. He was the benevolent. I can talk. I can do it. Benevolent. Guy who it's the same look. I mean, your chats are hilarious. So you know, he was the benevolent ruler, the guy who was doing it for good. And he said, if you kill me, timeline splits. Eventually, all the versions of me return. And if we're lucky, I'm the guy back in charge. Based on what we see, that's not the case. Hey, Pete, what's up, man? I see you there. Say hey. Bree, you know, come on. You better than anybody. No, I can't talk. It is what it is. I can't even pronounce your name right. So I'm just gonna start calling you Birdie, because that's what it looks like. My tiny little screen, it looks like Birdie, and I have to go Birdie. Anyway,
Get a big screen
I gotta get a big screen. So yeah, so what I think they're gonna do is do like a slow rollout of this character. You know, we saw this version of him. He's teased right at the end when Loki sees the big statue. That's like, oh shit, that's not, that's different. Like that's kind of the imposing figure version. I would love to see like different versions of him pop up in different movies, like as like this kind of through line of like different versions of Kang showing up and trying to mess, you know, as our timeline, right, as our Marvel movies go on, like different versions of of Kang just kind of pop in, do something, and leave. I think that'd be hilarious. But yeah, no, I definitely think if you look at the actual timeline, our chronological timeline, the movie that it was told that we would see Kang the Conqueror is Ant-Man and the Wasp 3, Quantumania. That's when they said they were gonna release that character was gonna appear. Now, the fact that we saw a tease of it here, and the fact that we know Loki will get a season 2, I predict, my theory is that we're gonna get season 2 right before that movie. They're gonna kind of like everything that happens between Loki season 1, Loki season 2 is kind of the timeline being all crazy, and then we kind of dovetail that with season 2 and kind of lead it to the big bad being Kang in Ant-Man and the Wasp 3, Quantumania, which, by the way, I still say that's a placeholder title. I do not believe that's going to be the title of the movie. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Okay.
And for people that would say like, oh, why would they, there could be spoilers with what the real title is. For instance, when Captain America Winter Soldier was first announced, they did not want to give away that the Winter Soldier was going to be involved. So for a while before it was released, it was called Captain America, like Hydra's Serpent or something like that. It had a totally different name. And then as they got close to the release of the movie, that's when they were like, all right, it's gonna be Winter Soldier, and everyone's like, oh my god, Winter Soldier's back, blah 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 blah. So yeah, so you know, it's one of those things that I think it'll change as we go forward, but I'm excited to see what happens.
So Quantumania comes out February 17th of 2023.
Yes.
Okay.
I think January we're gonna see Loki season 2.
Okay. What about, you know, Doctor Strange, the new Doctor Strange one coming out year from March, and then Spider-Man coming out in December? Like, there's been talk of these same kind of things happening in those films as well. I mean, obviously with Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, kind of from what we've seen happening at the end of Loki is going to tie into that as well. And we know that Wanda's going to be in there, and kind of her, you know, Nexus being and all these things, and I think that's going to tell a little bit of a story for what's happening, right?
Yeah.
Like, but so is it all going to start kind of coming to a head with Ant-Man, do you think, or is it going to? I mean, I guess I don't know how this is all going to tie into each other.
Yeah, I mean, obviously none of us know.
These 3 films in particular are going to tie together, right?
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that Eternals is probably going to be part of that as well, right?
Right. So yeah, the theory, the leading theory is that, like I said, everything between, you know, Loki season 1, Loki season 2 is the multiverse kind of going nuts. Kind of why the Eternals never bothered doing anything, and then all of a sudden, why are they activated now? Because, oh my god, the Multiverse of Madness crisis is happening. I mean, anything could happen between now and then. I think this is the phase of Marvel movies where they get to really screw around with the timelines and possible speculations, and that kind of leads into the next series that's about to come out, What If. So yeah, there's so many things they can go or routes they can go with. I think that's why, you know, you got like a Black Widow that's technically in the past, and Eternals is a story that goes over eternity. You're gonna have Shang-Chi, which is a movie that takes place present day, but also in the past. So you're gonna get a lot of these kind of timey-wimey movies and shows while they mess with the timeline, so to speak. And I think it'll wrap up things as we get to Loki season 2, and then Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, for that's what they're gonna call it. But yeah, so I don't know. It's something. Steven, hey, what's up, man? He says, is there not enough story to continue WandaVision to a season 2? So here's the thing. As much as I loved WandaVision, they're not going to do a season 2. They're not. They've essentially said it's over, it's done. It was a limited series. It was to tell a pocket story of that specific point in time. If they were to do another show, it wouldn't be WandaVision. The whole idea of WandaVision, it was her stuck in this reality that she created, and it's one of those things that they're not going to. She's out of that bubble now, so there's really no way to kind of put her back into that bubble. So if they were going to do something else with her, which I think she's going to be benched for a little bit because she's supposed to appear in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness next year. I think they have other stories they want to tell. We don't know when White Vision is coming back. We don't know when a lot of those characters are coming back. I did read an interview with Kevin Feige, who said, who, for those that don't know, is like the god of Marvel movies. He said that Agatha Harkness, Catherine Hahn's character, is going to be coming back sooner than later. So we know the villain, Agatha Harkness, will be around. I speculated last week, I think, that they're putting together like a Dark Avengers team. It's because you got your U.S. agent, you got your Dark Black Widow now. You're gonna have a Hawkeye. You're gonna have a Lady Thor, and then someone like Agatha Harkness who can be the Scarlet Witch kind of version of a character. I think they're putting together kind of like a Dark Avengers team. Being led, but what that is. So I'm excited. And yes, it was an excellent cliffhanger ending, and I think that the post-credit scenes of that series lead to specific movies, point to specific movies, right? We had the scene where they're like, hey, you got to go talk to the man upstairs, like meaning Nick Fury, and that's leading to the Marvels movie, and also the Miss Marvel TV series. Then you had the ending with obviously with Scarlet Witch, and that's leading to the Multiverse of Madness movie. So yeah, it's one of those things. Yeah. So it is what it is. What one accidentally released in a bar or something by an actor? I'm trying to. Jim, I see your comment. What one was accidentally released in a bar or something by an actor? What one was accidentally released in a bar or something by an actor? I'm not sure what you're saying there.
What actor like got all racist in Norway?
That was Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller, he like choke slammed a chick in a bar. Yeah. In was it like Finland or Norway or somewhere? Yeah. The name of a movie. One was accidentally released in a bar or something by an actor. The name of the movie. I don't know. If we're talking about the same thing, the guy that plays the Flash, Ezra Miller, got in trouble for like choke slamming a lady in a bar. But hey, they're filming the Flash movie right now, so I called that one all kinds of wrong. I was like, there's no way they're gonna keep him as the Flash. Apparently, you can choke slam ladies in bars, and it's all good if you got enough money to pay them off. But yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. All right, what else? What do we got? Oh, I'm excited to talk about this. And I think this is a perfect segue from Loki, because a while ago they announced we're going to do, the What If animated series for Marvel, which was like all these side stories that could exist in a different universe and whatnot. And at the time, people were, and myself included, were like, wow, that's crazy. Like, the whole point of Marvel is it's all connected. So for them to say, what if, it was kind of like this far out reaching. And I was like, that's kind of cute. They're telling these onesie stories and whatnot. But now now that we've seen Loki and the end result is the multiverse breaking, I can only imagine this was so thought out and so far planned ahead that they're basically saying, look, what if is now canon? It's canon of the story. All these episodes are things that are actually happening in pockets of these universes.
Right. But hold on.
Sure.
Okay. This is canon, right? We'll say that.
Sure.
This is going to be part of MCU lore.
Yep.
Okay. But they're also kind of dead end stories. You know what I mean? Like, they're not gonna. If Thor was a fucking frog or whatever, then, okay, well, Thor's a frog in this one story. But like, I don't know. Like, they're not gonna expand on that. I don't believe so, anyway. Right?
I mean,
they could technically, since it is.
They could.
It's just gonna be kind of fun. Yeah, and maybe it's not necessarily what if this is actually happening in one little kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah, no. I hear what you're saying. So yes, the whole point of, like, okay, so in the comic books, you had the main timeline, right? The things that were happening in the comic book, and then they created this what if series. This was just postulating. It's kind of like the Twilight Zone, where each episode stood in and of itself, this weird story that, like, what if the Hulk was the Herald of Galactus? You know, what if Wolverine, you know, never joined the X-Men? Like, whatever it is, you know, what if Spider-Man stuck to being an asshole when he was a show performer? Like, all these what if scenarios. And you know, the whole idea that yes, these will be singular self-contained stories, but who knows? Like, I know there's going to be a Marvel Zombies kind of episode, and now zombies have kind of died off in recent history, but there was a time where zombies were huge, and Marvel Zombies ran, like, it was a what-if kind of story that ran for years. So there is very much a possibility that they could go, well, if people like this story, maybe we chase that down. Maybe we see where that takes us. But most likely this is just to serve as, you know, we saw the timeline. The timeline didn't splinter in one specific area. It splintered everywhere.
Right.
So that changes so many things. What if Peggy Carter took the super soldier serum instead of Steve Rogers? You know, what if, whatever. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and play the trailer so that we can talk specifics. Is that cool?
Let's do that.
I'm going to play the trailer. All right, hang on 1 second. Let me cue up this amazing trailer for the new series coming out called What If?
Yeah, peace. I love peace. I'd be out of a job with peace. Do we know each other?
Time. Reality. It's changeable.
Where you want to be? That's the question, isn't it?
Every universe is different. Each one unique.
Slow down a little bit. There's a few people in the room that don't understand. Not me, I get it.
Who are you?
The name's Captain Carter. Scheiße!
I am the Watcher. I observe all that transpires here. But I do not, cannot, will not interfere. I guess I have to freestyle then. Hey! We have you outnumbered.
A Ravager never flies solo. I said never flies solo.
Is that some kind of catchphrase?
You had me worried for a second.
Journey to face the unknown and ponder the question. What if?
So there you have it. What if? What if? What if?
All the what ifs.
All the what ifs. I mean, you're gonna get Marvel Zombies. You're gonna get Sharon Carter as Captain Carter. Apparently, I don't know why they just call it Captain Britain, but whatever. So you
well, and that's something we didn't really touch on a whole lot with when we talked about Black Widow. There, because they introduced some actual real comic book characters.
Yeah.
In Black Widow.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And there is like a Captain Britain, and there's all these characters that kind of, I'm gonna say Marvel has ignored.
Yeah, I mean, no, they just like it hasn't organically come up in the story.
Right. But yeah, and with this what if, I mean, they can do some with it too.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, there is room for Captain Britain to show up in, because Captain Britain was not Peggy Carter.
No. Nathan.
But I'm
something.
saying, I don't know, like there are characters that they're butting into. Yeah. Right. That they can, expand into.
They own the rights to all the characters.
They own the rights to all of them. But what I'm saying is, like, it's kind of neat to see that, and hopefully they do something with that, right? Instead of just being the same. Oh, it's Captain America and Thor and fucking Hulk. Like, oh, and there's Iron Man again. Like, it'd be kind of neat to see like some of these other characters, kind of. And this was kind of fun with Loki, because Loki's been a character for what, 10 years now, 12 years, something like that.
Yeah, something like that since the first Thor.
And he's kind of been, I mean, I'm not saying like a major character in any of them. It's nice to see him get his own kind of story. You know what I mean? He's kind of in the background. He's kind of, he's been doing his thing, but he hasn't really been like, he's not going to get a whole show dedicated to him. And then he got one. It was good. It was good to see that. And they're tying that in, and they're bringing in all the people. Yeah,
the people that put in the time are kind of now getting rewarded with this kind of work. You got Captain America or Falcon and Winter Soldier, you got Wanda and Vision, you got which, by the way, the fact that Don Cheadle got an Emmy nod for the literal 1 minute 59 seconds that he was on Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I think is hysterical. That he got an Emmy nod for Best Supporting Actor, or might as well have been Best Cameo. But it is what it is. All right, Jim, you got jokes, bro. You got jokes. I see you. So I like the idea of this what if, and I like that they placed it squarely after Loki to be like, look, multiverse is wide open now. Yeah, you guys can run amok, and they tell the stories that you wanted to tell. Like, there's gonna be I saw a thing for Party Thor. They have things for basically, like, instead of the Guardians of the Galaxy, it's like, instead of the Avengers, the Guardians of the Galaxy, which are a weird mishmash of them, or there's just so many things. It looks like at one point Vision becomes kind of like Ultron, or he must have, instead of becoming a good guy, he became a bad guy when Ultron created him. Like, there's so many different versions of what could have happened, and to see that, what if Killmonger saved Tony Stark from becoming Iron Man, like we saw right in the opening? And the fact that they painstakingly recreated pivotal moments in the MCU and chose those moments to change, right? Because, let's be honest, Tony Stark getting blasted in the desert started it all. That was the starting point of the MCU as we know it. So for them to go back and say, well, what if Killmonger just happened to pass by and save his life? Like, does that mean, he builds Killmonger like a badass Iron Man suit or something? Like, who knows what's going to happen? So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be really cool. There'll definitely be some mystical parts. There'll definitely be some other involved. So it's gonna be cool, man. I'm excited for it. Any of that like really intrigued you, or were like, oh man, I really want to see that part of it? Anything?
I think so. I think it'd be neat to see that.
Yeah, and let's not forget this will give us our very last work from Chadwick Boseman, who plays the role of Black Panther, obviously in the regular multiverse universe, but in this he's going to play a version of Star-Lord. So instead of them taking Peter Quill into space, they took, T'Challa, and he becomes Star-Lord. And this will be our last. It's kind of emotional. This will be the last time that we ever get to hear of our boy Chadwick Boseman, doing his thing, which I hope he gets some type of recognition for, because honestly, I mean, the guy is a badass actor. And yeah, Steve, the Watcher, and I think they got, was it Jeffrey Wright to play the Watcher, which I think is dope, man. I'm excited for that. I think it's gonna be cool to hear him be the Watcher. So yeah, very excited for the What If series, August 11th. Very excited. And this is nice because it's gonna give us some time to stop talking about Marvel every week. Because I feel like
we've given us some good content.
Yeah, Marvel's giving us great content, but it'd be nice to have a little break. We can talk about other things. But before that, I do have one more thing. So obviously, Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings comes out September 3rd. Eternals comes out November 5th. The last Marvel property we got coming out this year, Spider-Man No Way Home, December 17th, which we still don't have a trailer for. And I feel like that's intentional. I feel like it's intentional.
You think?
I really do. Now, I will say, for those of you out there that don't want spoilers, I mean, why do you even tune into this show? I don't know. But they have released pictures of a toy line coming out tied to Spider-Man No Way Home. I think while it doesn't exactly spoil anything, it makes some heavy implications for things. So if you want to be completely surprised by Spider-Man No Way Home, now might be the time to walk away, because I'm going to show you some pictures of toys, and we're going to talk about what they could possibly mean. So with that, have I given everybody enough time? If you're going to leave, make sure you go vote for us, podcastawards.com.
Yeah.
www.podcastawards.com, entertainment category, pop culture war. All right, so that being said, all right, the first one I'm going to bring up, let's see, switch here. Y'all see that okay? There we go. Yeah, it's working. All right. So, this obviously is what looks like the Iron Spider suit, right? The one that he wore in Infinity War and in Endgame. Pretty much a really. But if you notice, what's he got here? What's he got here?
A square head.
What's he? Okay, not the square head, you ding dong.
Oh, well, he's got a square head.
He's got it's a Funko Pop, so they all got square heads. But there seems to be some magical components, very much like a Doctor Strange kind of magical components. I'm sorry if it's too small. I'm not really sure.
Well, it's very blurry.
Blurry? I think it's blurry for you. I hope it's not blurry for anybody else.
Probably.
But anyway. So they were calling this the integrated suit. Now that's all they've called it, the integrated suit, which to me wonders, there have been reports that Doctor Strange will make an appearance in this movie. What if he imbues upon Spider-Man's suit some mystical powers for whatever reason, basically integrating science and technology, making this the integrated suit? I really think that's the implication here, because you've got like the little kind of center spirally spidery thing with also the kind of hand, like the hand stuff that we've seen from Doctor Strange or WandaVision, whatever. Hand stuff, that sounds dirty. Also, okay, this one, whoa, this one blows my mind. This is the black and gold suit. Now, why could he need a black and gold suit? I haven't the foggiest of ideas. But it's a badass suit. Now, again, this is the very cartoony Funko Pop version of the toy. This isn't the exact what it's going to look like on screen. This is the miniature. Although I will take note of these tiny blue nubbins that appear on his head. Okay, it's a strange detail for a black and gold suit to have these tiny little blue dots. I'm gonna get to that. Some other ones they did reveal a Doctor Strange pop. Why the hell is he in street clothes and has a shovel? I don't know. That has something to do with the movie. Apparently, they're going to be digging up a body or something. I don't know. We also got the Zendaya MJ pop. We got a Flash Thompson pop. Now, here is where we get a little more articulated. Here's the Marvel Legends red, blue, and gold. So this is, again, this integrated suit. Nothing really of note here. Okay. But here we go again. The black and gold, this one with a bit of red. No dots of blue in this one that I can tell. But this is a Marvel Legends figure. Now here's where we get crazy. Okay, you ready for this? Hot Toys, very famous toy company that does these kind of very articulated realistic figures, like these 1/16 figures. So it's one of those. Let's see, I'm trying to find a good one. There's a shot with our boy Tom Holland. Okay, so here, now that we have a very good close-up of what the image looks like, you could see these tiny, I don't even think you could probably see it. I have a big 4K monitor, so I can see it clearly, but these tiny blue dots. It's strange. They're just kind of randomly appear. Like there's one by the spider, one slightly above, one over here on his kind of upper chest up here. These tiny blue dots. There's got to be something there. That's such a strange detail to put in there for no apparent reason. Now that we get the real good close-up 4K image of his suit, you can see what looks like computer, like a motherboard. It's the computer piping. You see all these little intricate details. They look like little computer chips. They look like little microbes and what's-its and serial. There's little serial numbers. Very cool detail. Very, very cool detail. This is obviously some type of like super techie suit. Now, his tech stuff has never kind of been outwardly apparent, right? It's always been kind of under the garment. But now apparently it's up front and center. There's another good shot of it. You can see very, very, he looks like a black and gold motherboard. That's what he looks like, the suit. Now, here's where it gets interesting. I'm going to find one there we go. There's a good shot of one. Again, we get this magical, mystical component of like the dial on his chest, and also these kind of spinning webs that have magical kind of things. He also has this gauntlet, this removable gauntlet. So it tells me kind of at some point, maybe in the movie, he gets some type of magical, I don't know, thingamabobber. But this gives him like this gauntlet, this removable gauntlet, gives him that magical kind of centerpiece. This is obviously maybe where he draws the power from, or what have you, or how it integrates. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. This doesn't have a very good connection to the comic book world, but you can clearly see what looks like. I mean, honestly, the suit is gorgeous. I love the look of it. It is so out of the norm for what they're doing. So I'm excited to see what they do. I love, and
it's blue, right?
It's it's typically blue. This is black and gold. It's typically blue and red.
What I'm saying, his like little power web thing or whatever.
Yeah. The magical kind of elements of it are blue. The same way like Doctor Strange has that kind of gold and Wanda has that red. Apparently, Spider-Man has blue magic. So
right, and so, but does that have anything to do with like the Space Stone then, or no?
I mean, yeah. I don't. The way they've done magic in the Marvel universe lately is because you have all the sorcerers have that gold magic, right? So far, evil magic has been represented as purple, so like Dormammu, Agatha Harkness, and then you've had Wanda's red magic. So the blue, I mean, could it be connected to the Space Stone? Possibly. More than likely, it's just another
blue
magic. Yeah, it's what happens when you mix magic and science. It becomes blue. I don't know. Now, here's where I found it interesting. Where I talked about all this detail, about all this kind of computer-looking detail, that like the little motherboard nonsense. If you look here from this angle, this picture here on his shoulder blades, it kind of looks like the magical ruins that were in WandaVision. And sometimes you see him in Doctor Strange. Almost as if the suit is part technology, part magical. Like, these don't look like the computer stuff that we see on his kind of torso and chest. These look more like magical runes on the shoulder. But it could just be a weird angle. I wish oh man, how do I zoom in on this thing? I'm sure on a I apologize, I'm sure on a screen it probably looks super teeny. Super teeny. And then, yeah, so if you're interested in a figure like that, what does it have? It has, you get the face, here's the whole suit, you get the face, apparently you get a removable mask that he can clutch in his hand, you get the pedestal, the different eyes. Like, these are cool. I never got into, like, this stuff, like the figurine stuff, but I can see why somebody would. This is pretty cool that you can have something like that. A lot of cool details. There's like 15 different hands that you can use to make him do different stuff. Make him do different hand stuff,
All right, dude.
But yeah, Jim says Tony Stark is upgrading everyone. Well, Tony Stark is dead. Now it's Wakanda. See, that's the only thing that logically makes sense to me, is that this is somehow Wakandan technology, right? Because they're typically the one that does like the black and gold, the black and silver. So, maybe at some point in the movie, Spider-Man's Stark suit gets destroyed. He doesn't have a Tony Stark to rebuild it. So somehow he gets in with the Wakandans and they build him a Spider-Man suit. And so it's all, and then Doctor Strange gives it a supernatural super boost. I don't know. I'm wildly speculating at this point. I am all over the map. Oh, hey, that's a great point, Steven. It's actually a good point, man. That's a good point. Here, let me. It doesn't look okay. So he says, do we think that the armband could have something to do with Shang-Chi and the 10 Rings? I mean, there is a resemblance, like the curved parts of it. I would say, what it looks more like to me is let's see if I can find a picture of it. Is like a gauntlet version of the Eye of Agamotto. So the way that like it sits on Strange's chest and it has like all these concentric rings that move, it reminds me of that, but a gauntlet version. So I wonder if it's somehow tied to that. I don't know. But I love the idea that it's tied to Shang-Chi and the 10 Rings. I do love that. Were there 10 dots on the new suit? That's a good question, man. So, like, again, it's you guys probably can't see it, but there are these tiny blue dots, and I keep seeing the blue pop up from time to time, like in the Funko Pop. Like here, I remind you guys, the Funko Pop, he's got the blue dots right here, right above the eyes. And then if you look, I mean, you need to like have the super close up version of the suit. Then you get these tiny blue dots that appear, and they're not like evenly balanced, right? It's not like one on each shoulder pad. Like they're kind of oddly placed. One just by the.
Yeah,
I don't
organic to the suit.
Yeah, I don't know. It's such a strange detail. Like that has to be movie related. It has to be. What a strange thing to be like, I don't know, sir. We keep printing the suit and these blue dots keep appearing. Well, I don't know. Just leave it in there, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, sorry. I've talked enough about toys. But I don't know. I love the new suit. I'm curious. Do you guys like the black and gold for Spider-Man? Do you like the suit, how it looks? I mean, I'm digging it. It's something different. It's something fresh. I hope it has a good reason in the story to be there. But I like it. It's a whole different take on a character that we've seen. We've seen Spider-Man in so many suits over the years. So for them to be coming up with something totally unique and original, I love it. And then of course we're gonna definitely have the kind of the classic Iron Spider with a kind of mixed in augmented reality, so to speak, of the magical powers. So yeah, and I don't know what the hell. Again, Doctor Strange in like a parka, some snow boots. You know what? No, it looks like he's gonna shovel snow. That's what it looks like. He's got the rubber boots on. He's got the parka. It looks like he's going out to shovel snow. Which you're magical, dude. Wait, what do you? Come on. Steve said, if it's gonna be a black suit, it has to be the old full body Venom style suit. I mean, yeah, that you know, you can't have him all in black without hearkening to the old Venom days. So yeah, so that's that. What'd you think, man? What do you think of the black and gold? Do you dig it?
I don't know.
You
Really.
on the fence? You on the fence?
I'm on the fence with it. I'm on the fence, dude. I like a suit now, though, too.
They do seem to be going further and further away from the traditional Spider-Man, right? Because even with the Iron Spider, that was far away. Then even at the end of the last one, he got like that black-red suit. That was pretty far from anything he's ever worn in the comic books. Now they're going full black gold, which we've seen pictures of him on set in that red-black, kind of like picking up where the last movie left off. So then at some point, he goes back to the iron suit, and then at some point, he goes to the black and gold suit. And we've talked about this before. Why do movies make the characters change clothes so often? To sell toys. That's exactly what it is. You can't sell new merchandise if he's wearing the same clothes from before. So that is
they don't pay him for that.
Jim says, Doctor Strange had the shovel because he's in witness protection. He's trying to act normal. I don't think he's in the cape. He's doing the magic. You're not acting normal. I would love that though for a toy line, like Doctor Strange witness protection version. Where he's in like a Kiss the Chef apron, you know, like just. He just doesn't know how to act normal anymore.
But he's still wearing the cape.
Yeah, he still has the
like,
cape on.
Flipping burgers or some shit.
Magically flipping burgers. No one will suspect.
He's reading a cookbook. Well, he's like...
He's like, oh, it's like WandaVision. The last scene of WandaVision, he's floating. He's floating, reading the cookbook, but like everything's cooking around him. Yeah. So yeah, I do think it's Wakandan related. I that's the only logical why his suit would be black and gold and kind of all decked out with the tech.
Right. Matching Bucky's arm and shit.
Yeah. I mean that's exactly what it's matching, is the black and gold from Bucky's arm. And then knowing with the detail that we've seen in like the Black Panther suit, when you really see it up close, it has like all the intricate woven. It's just so similar to that I mean, it's gotta be. Mm-hmm. So anyway, all right, guys, we have reached the top of the hour. We're gonna take a short break. When we come back, we have an exciting guest we're gonna talk to. We have an exciting guest to go. We had a last minute scheduling change, but I'm very excited to talk to tonight's guest. His name is Ezra Gale. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm probably not, because I'm terrible at pronouncing names. Mm-hmm. He is a musician, a producer. He's got this really badass project that he's working on, which basically fuses music with comic books. Hopefully you guys are intrigued, because I think it's pretty cool, and I'm pretty excited to talk to him about the project. And yeah, we're gonna learn all about it. And he's a pretty big nerd, so we're gonna fit in. He's gonna fit in just fine around these parts. So, right. Guys, we're gonna take a short break. We will be back in just a few short minutes. See you after the break. Shots.
You're listening to the sounds of WTF Nation Radio.
I stood there in that middle of church with a bottle of gin in my hand. I'm looking up at the rooftop like I'm trying to find my long lost friend. My days turn to nights, my nights turn to weeks when you're living life on the road. I'm halfway back to New Orleans with a few more drinks to go. I say tip 'em on back. Well, let's tip 'em on back. I finally made it back to Bourbon Street, picking some of them old night bars, hoping I could find myself playing music on my guitar. For the kid around, they all shouted out as the drinks began to flow. I pulled out that old guitar, then I showed them how to do-si-do. I said, tip 'em on back. Well, let's tip 'em on back. Church with a bottle of gin in my hand, looking up at the rooftop like I'm trying to find my long lost friend.
Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Pop Culture Warrior, hour 2, I guess, of Pop Culture Warrior. Thanks for hanging in there, guys. I'm, oh my goodness, I forgot. I gotta turn off Radar's camera. I always forget to turn off Radar's camera. Hang on, silly me pushing buttons again. All right, take 2. All right, welcome back, guys. I'm excited for our guest tonight. So we've got a really cool guy. He's a musician, a producer. He is currently working on a Kickstarter project that kind of merges music and comics in a very cool and interesting way. I'm very excited to talk to our guest tonight. It is Ezra Gale. How's it going, buddy?
Good to be here.
Oh man, we're excited to have you. This is so exciting, and I want to dive all into it, right? I'm fascinated. I looked up the Kickstarter. I looked up all the stuff. I heard the music. You sent some music. I listened to the music. Super intrigued by it. Before we get into all that, always like to kick it off first and foremost asking, what, sir, is your connection to our fine military people?
Well, it sort of seems like everybody in my family's was served except me. I have to say, both my grandpas served in the Pacific in World War II. We were actually telling the kids that all 4 of their grandpas served in World War II. My wife's grandpas were in Europe. Mine were in the Pacific. My dad was in the Army during Korea. I got 2 cousins right now. Not now, but recently served. I think they were stationed in Germany. Anyway, so I never have, but and I wouldn't call us a military family really, but definitely have some connections there.
It's so funny. Like you have no idea how common a thread that is, where people are like, yeah, everyone in my family served. I mean, I wouldn't call us a military family, but everybody served.
I guess that sort of is the definition of a military family, isn't it? When everybody serves.
Yeah.
Maybe I should just face facts and
Yeah, own it, man. Own it. You're a military family. I think if more than like 50% of the family has served, I think you can qualify.
I guess we hit it. I guess we hit that. So. I'll change the banner.
Excellent. All right. So you are a guy that has quite a bit of history in the music industry and in music. I'd love to know kind of where that got started, or maybe before we turn the clock back, like what would you describe yourself as now for those that are watching? What is your profession? What is it that you do?
Well, I've always been a guitar player, and now I'm more of a bass player, which is guitar with 2 less strings. So it's easier. So, and then over the last, I don't know how many years, 10, 15 years, I've gotten really into recording and producing and mostly my own stuff, but other acts too, other artists, musicians, produce some bands and stuff like that. I have a home studio set up, so I've been working on a lot of stuff. I work with some great other engineers and recording engineers and stuff like that too. But I've been, I started getting into music when I was little, playing guitar, studied in college, and then kind of just have always been in bands in one way or another, toured around the country, around the world, toured U.S. and Canada, and then Europe, and I even went to Africa, West Africa, with a band of mine. So all over the place, Australia, all over the place. Haven't in the last few years, I've got a couple kids, married, and I'm not really into going on the road for so long anymore. So now I'm kind of staying home, playing gigs around New York City, and now I live up in the Hudson Valley in Kingston. But the last year and a half, I don't know about you, but they've been pretty fucking weird for me. So, so that kind of, turned everything upside down and made me kind of think about different things I could do and focus on, because all this energy I was putting into playing gigs and playing shows and being in bands, we couldn't really do any of that. So
yeah. No, I understand completely. Prior to COVID, I was doing stand-up comedy. I was getting out there, I was performing, and, COVID shut all that down. And then it became like, well, what the hell do I do with all this energy and wanting to be in front of a crowd and wanting to get it out there? And that's actually kind of how the show started, really.
and here you are.
And here we are. Different kind of crowd. But no, that's cool. Awesome. What would you see? Obviously, you're new to everybody here. What is your sound, right? I know that's a popular thing that, musicians, what's my sound? What kind of genre do you fall into, or you're into?
Yeah, I mean, I've done all kinds of things. I played a lot of jazz. I studied with Yusef Lateef, who's a really amazing jazz player, instrumentalist. Played some gigs with Donovan. Played some folk rocker. All kinds of stuff. I had a funk band. I had an Afrobeat band called Aphrodisia for a while. That's the one that went to Africa. I was in a Latin kind of party band that went to Europe a few times. I was in I had a dub reggae band called Super Hi-Fi. So kind of all over the map. And this latest project of mine that's called the Eargoggle, which is kind of just my name for myself, really, is just me and whoever else that I want to play on the songs, is all over the map. It's kind of taking a little bit of all that stuff and just mixing it all in.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
It's just the best way I could describe it. I mean, other people have said, oh, it's got a kind of a Bowie groove, and this has got some kind of Talking Heads, and this one's Zeppelin, or I don't know. I mean, yeah, I like all that stuff, but I really don't know kind of exactly what to call it. I think it's just kind of everything to me.
Yeah. By no means am I some type of music snob that I couldn't pick one out of the other, but I did listen to some of the samples you sent, and I in the best way possible, I could say, man, this is all over the place. It doesn't fall into one category. It's high, it's low, it's in, it's out. I don't know. The best way to describe it is I had a lot of feelings about it. It resonated somehow with me. So it was strange in a good way. I'm not helping you sell this at all, by the way.
I don't know. Strange in a good way is like a really good tagline. I might use that.
I was like, I dug it, man. I dug it. It was different.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah. We already got people live chatting here too. Beer. No, he said Eargoggle. Kaz in the chat said Beergoggle is the perfect name. So
and I have to. Beergoggle would be a good name. That could be the spinoff.
There you go.
But I do have to give credit that it's Eargoggle is ripped off from. Well, there's a bass player I used to play with named Billy Wigg, but he got it from Jimi Hendrix. There's this crazy. If you're a serious Hendrix nerd, the way that I am, you might know there's these bootlegs out there that have all this studio chatter, and there's this one that I remember hearing in high school or something. I think it's before he does blue suede shoes. He goes, "Oh, you turn me up in the ear goggles," and that's where it comes from. So there's some people who I say that they're like, oh, you mean like the Jimmy thing, and I'm like, damn, that's deep.
Yeah,
you know, you went deep there.
I did not know at all, but that's
I just outed it.
I love it. I know that's such a cool history, like some just random throwaway there. That I got to have that kind of effect on pop culture, on popular culture, that you could say something offhandedly and then years down the line it's like, I'm gonna name myself this, or I'm gonna name my album, or I'm gonna dedicate this to that thing. I wonder how he would feel about that now.
Yeah. If he only knew.
If he only knew. So I read that you've always been interested in marrying music to other art forms. I would love to dissect that and understand that more, because obviously the first thing is, it's visual. Obviously, that kind of comes to mind. But what more are you talking about that? How deep do you go with that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the basic idea that I've had for many years really, is just that music and art, visual art, so comics are kind of visual art, of course, they're both sort of abstract and sort of not, because when you hear a song, we all get like a feeling about that favorite song of ours. And that feeling might have something to do with what the lyrics are about, or maybe not. Like, it might just be what you think the song is about. And then comics, or art, we might have a favorite piece of art, might have a favorite comic, but it's like, my idea of it might be very different from yours. We kind of interpret it in our own way. So I thought, okay, what if we could take this music that I've written, these songs, and give it to artists and just see what they come up with, and see if it's anything close to, like, it's not going to be just my vision then, it's going to be theirs also, and we're going to see kind of what happens. That's kind of the basic thing, as of like maybe making this kind of this album go farther, sort of in your just giving you more feels, giving you more feelings, if you can kind of look at somebody else's interpretation of it. That was the basic idea, And then also I got to say, I mean, I've always been a comic book nerd. I mean, I just have to out myself, like, ever since, I don't know, 7th or 8th grade, when I was like, just all over the X-Men, and just, that's all I did was argue about it with my friends, So it's kind of like, I've always lived that kind of experience and thought about things in terms of a comic book sort of setup. And as I got older, I like got into other stuff and more independent indie comics and stuff like that. But I think it's kind of a similar thing. Like, you read a comic and you have your own idea about it, and that might be different from maybe the way the writers thought about it, or the way your friend thinks about it when he reads it. Like, I had my own vision of what Professor X's School for Gifted Youngsters really looked and felt like, even though it was there on the page, but I had my own idea. I was like, I can hear those floorboards creak when Cyclops walks down the hall, and like somebody else probably wasn't thinking that, but right. But I was. So that was what it was for me. And it's the same thing with a song. I get a certain feeling from a song, and somebody else gets a different one, but we both like it.
Sure. Well, yeah. I mean, I think it's common. You hear a song, and it makes you feel a certain way. You visualize it a certain way. Obviously, if you see a music video, maybe that song triggers kind of the visual of the music video. But I always think of, like, when I hear a song maybe the first time on the radio, or I hear a song out of context from its music video, like, where does it take me? What are the emotions it gives me? What are the, it attaches itself to a memory, and you recall those memories.
Oh, yeah.
So it makes sense to say, like, I love the idea of, like, okay, you're the writer, so to speak. If we're going to put this in a comic book analogy, right? You're the writer saying, okay, these are the lines. This is the story that I'm telling. And then the artist gets to come in and say, okay, visually, how am I going to represent that? Like, there might be certain beats where you're like, okay, that's clearly, if he's talking about a blue sign, well, there should be a blue sign. But if he's just talking about an emotion or a direction, like, that's widely open for interpretation. So I think this is such a cool project. I'd love, please, first tell us the name. It's on Kickstarter, guys. It's on Kickstarter. Right. We want to see this thing come to life. Tell us the name. Tell us a little bit about it. And what I'm actually going to do is, for the folks at home, I'm going to pull it up on the screen so they can actually see the Kickstarter page as you're talking about it. So go ahead.
Cool. So the link is too hard for me to say, but the project is the Eargoggles double album plus comic book, and it's if you search on Kickstarter for that, you'll find it. And basically, what it is, it's a double album. Hopefully, if the thing is successful and we get our money, we're going to make a double album, just like Frampton Comes Alive or Kiss Alive 2, 2 records, and then and it comes with a comic book that's included with the record, and each song on both records is a different artist, just interpreting the song in the same way. Basically, what I did was I sent each artist that I found the lyrics and then a demo of the song, or whatever state the song was in, just so they could get a feel for it, feel the music and everything. And then to varying degrees, I mean, some of them I said like there's a song called The Garden that this incredible guy named Luis Santa Marina, who's from Argentina, did. And I told him, like, when I wrote this, I was thinking I was kind of in my house and I didn't want to go out. This was, I think, during the pandemic or maybe like right in the beginning. And I was just like, I just didn't want to deal with the world. And it was just a feeling of like, I want to shut myself in and shut everybody else out. That's what I was feeling. And he took that and made it this comic about this mole person who's like hiding out in his hobbit hole with all these like strange little creatures, out the windows. And he's just kind of like shutting the curtains and shutting them all out. I thought it was brilliant. It wasn't something that I ever thought of at all, but that's a totally, accurate interpretation of how the song made me feel when I wrote it, So that's basically every song is like that.
Yeah, and I'm looking here. I'm sharing. It says it's a 56-page flip book anthology style comic with record 1. Is it Regalius? Regales. God, man, I told you I can't speak.
In Spanish, it would be regales, which would be gifts. I know it kind of looks like.
There you go. And then, yep. And in front, and record 2 reveals is read from the back. I'm looking at some of the artwork right now, and it is stunning. It is original. This isn't like something where you go, oh, that's a very classic boy. Like it definitely stands out. This artwork. Yeah, the Eargoggles reveals. I'm looking at the cover. It's awesome, man. Like, I'm curious, how did you pitch this? And like, how did you get certain artists interested or attached to it?
Well, it's interesting because I went looking for artists who were different. I found a lot of artists online. I have a high school friend named Colin Devonshire, who I keep in touch with mostly by Facebook nowadays, who's a comic book writer. He's got his own series called, I think, By the Time I Get to Dallas, which is this whole post-apocalyptic zombie series, which I'm a sucker for. Anything that's like the human race is doomed, I'm in. I'm all
You and me both, man. You and me both.
So he's got that. So I kind of approached him when I just had this idea, and he put me in touch with some artists, who put me in touch with some artists, who put me in touch, So pretty soon I was just checking out a lot of people's work on Instagram and their portfolios and stuff. And I really went looking for people who didn't have kind of like the classic, like superhero style, not this, I didn't want like burly men with big muscles and tight tights and, women with big cleavage and like, not there's anything wrong with all that, but it's just like, that's not what these songs are. These songs are just about like regular people or, kind of ordinary life. So I didn't want it to be like superheroes. I didn't want it to all be like that. So tried to pick artists who had a different style. So basically part of my pitch to these artists was, you have creative control. Like I can help you out and give you some of the ideas behind these songs, but really the idea is I want your interpretation of this. I want you to just run with this and let's see what you can do. Like, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong if you come and have a totally different story illustrated than what I was thinking with the song. I think that's kind of interesting that you would get that. So like, just go for it, And so I think a lot of them don't get to do that very often, unless they're doing their own stuff, of course, like making their own book. But when they get hired for a commission, it's mostly like a comic book writer will literally script out like panel 1. It's like a film. It's like a screenwriter. Like we're seeing this over the shoulder of.
They're
Black
storyboarding
Widow.
it. Yeah,
you're storyboarding it. And so, and that's fine. I think that's what they're used to. So I think a lot of them were pretty intrigued with like, oh, wow, that's kind of, I'd like to do something like this. This is interesting. And I think that's paid off. I think I think some of them maybe wanted a little more direction, and I hate that, you know. I think just because they weren't used to it, they're just like, "What do you mean? Like it can be anything?" And I'm like, "Well, here's some ideas, you know, like that I was thinking what this means." But I never told anybody to do this with this panel and this on this page. I never said any of that. So
Right.
that was, you know,
Yeah,
I wanted it.
I was gonna say, like, knowing artists and how they're, you know, obviously when they're doing their own thing, that's one thing, but when it's a paid gig or something like that, like they need direction. And how much of a problem was it to get these guys to like, no, man, it's yours. Like, just feel it and do what you feel.
To varying degrees. Some of them just ran with it. Some of them literally like were like, "Oh, cool, this is awesome." And then I heard back from them in a couple weeks with like this 3-page amazing, you know, colored, inked, everything, you know, wild, fantastical thing. And others were like, "I don't understand. Like, you know, this is a song about a girl and a car. Like, you want me? What kind of car do you want?" And I'm like, "I don't know, man. Like,
just a
and
car.
you know, do you have references? Do you have references for the characters?" And so, you know, I did some of that. I was like, "Well, it could look like this. I'm envisioning an older woman, you know, not young, like maybe looking like this." But, you know, I think gradually, kind of in the process for each one, they started loosening up and being like, "Okay, all right, let's just do this," you know.
Sure. So I'm looking at the Kickstarter page now, and everybody can see it. It is at 4,900. And with the goal to be 5,200, obviously, to make this reality, we got 9 days to go. I'm challenging my folks out there, guys, to get in there, help us push this thing to 5,200, so that way we can make this a reality. Because this sounds so different, so unique. And I'm looking at some of the pledges here. You know, your typical $2, $10, $15. You know, you get what's it? You get the MP3 download of the entire album, the PDF comic book, of course, makes sense. You know, for the 15, you get the comic book physically mailed to you, as well as the PDF, which is awesome, like a physical copy of things. $30 gives you the double album and the comic book. So was it the MP3 plus the PDF, and then the comic book mailed to you, and the double record mailed to you, which I saw Kaz in the chat. He was like, "Oh my God, a real LP." So that's a physical thing you can have.
Right.
For our younger audience out there, that black circle, it's not a giant hockey puck, all right? It's how we used to play music in the old days.
I would hold one up. And I'm in my dad's room, and all he has is books. My room is.
I was gonna say, you read a lot, man.
Show you. No. I do, but not these books. I would have records somewhere around me.
So that for the $50, you get everything plus your name on a special thank you page in the comic book, which is awesome. 70, you get all the goodies, plus an MP3 download of the little black book from 2016. Very nice. And the special thank you. Now, this is where I always find this is the part that gets interesting. When you get into some of the bigger tiers, because it's like what eccentric thing can we offer, you know, the audience, for the discerning gentleman? What can we give them? So I love this. For $150, I write a song for you. Like, are you committing to that? Because it says, yes, that sounds crazy, but so you're just gonna like, hey, give me a couple give me a couple ideas, and I'm just gonna whip out a song for you. That you're good with that?
Yep. In fact, somebody ordered one. I mean, technically, I'm supposed to wait until the whole thing funds or whatever, but I just did it. A friend of mine, a longtime friend, ordered that pledge. So I wrote him a song. He wanted it about this big house he used to live in Marin County, California, a big party house where I spent a lot of time in my 20s, Northern California. Things happened. I don't want to say what they were, but
sure.
Things happened.
Sure.
So we don't remember all those things. But anyway, so I wrote a song and I sent it to him this week, actually, a couple of days ago, and I posted it on the updates there. Yeah. So yes, I will do that, and most likely it'll be fully produced. I mean, I did drum beats and all instruments and all that stuff. Luckily, I like doing that, so it's not like, oh God, I gotta write a song for these people, you know.
Right. It's not like me trying to write a song for you. Then we're gonna have problems. Yeah, shit. I might contribute $150. I would love a pop culture warrior song for our channel here. So we'll get a jingle out of you. But
that would be awesome.
Yeah, you can use your love of comic books to get in there. So
that would be awesome.
Look out, guys! You guys got to get there and get that before I take it. For $300, you get your name on the album cover. Come on, that's cool, man. Forever immortalized in the cover. $350 for $50 more. You can have your face on the cover. My God, that's a steal. That's a steal, man. And then for $500, a full-on record of your song. So like you press a whole record for that one song. That's
right.
outstanding.
So I know some people with a record press. They've generously told me that they will press just one copy of. So same thing. I'll write a song, produce it, and then send it to you. But it'll be that for that one. It'll be on a 7-inch record, a little record, and you play it for.
We wouldn't want to take up the whole real estate for one song. My goodness, but
exactly. Yeah, unless it was a Pink Floyd song. Really
that's right. We'll go for a log one. But man, that's so cool. I mean, I am a frequenter of Kickstarter to the point where it became a very bad habit.
I know what you mean.
It becomes an addiction, because I love, as much as I love my, X-Men comics and my big budget Marvel movies and my AAA video games, I love the independent spirit. I love seeing the little guy going, look, I've got this idea with just a little support. I can make it a thing. We've had a bunch of friends of the show come on to talk about their projects, and I'm really excited. I think if we can push the audience a little bit, spread the word, share it, let people know. I mean, you're right there. You're right on the cusp, and I want to see. I'm going to contribute as well. I'm teetering. I have to get my significant other to approve my large purchases. But I would love to buy a song for the show, man. We could totally we'll collaborate. We'll do a thing.
That would be so cool. Well, I'm right there. I'm right there with you with the Kickstarter. I mean, I have not. I'll admit this is my first project I've done on Kickstarter.
Right.
And a little free advice for anybody thinking of doing it. I will tell you, it is not relaxing. I can say that. Like, I feel like my superpower right now is that I've gotten to not check my phone to see if anybody's made a pledge in the last 5 minutes. I'm up to 15 minutes or something, and I'm checking all the time. Like, oh, how's it going? But it's what's so cool about it is just what you said. Like, I go on there. I was just kind of trying to get a feel for what people do, so I could kind of plan out the campaign and this project. And I just ended up seeing so many cool projects, like both comics and music, and then books. I mean, so many cool things, and I ended up spending a couple $100, that I was not planning on doing. I'm like, fuck,
Yeah.
But whatever, no regrets. I'm happy about it because I've gotten some of them in the mail by now, and they're just awesome. There's just things that I would not have found otherwise. And I've reached out to those creators and said, hey, check my stuff out, and they've checked mine out. It's like there is this kind of behind the scenes community there that I really like.
That's awesome.
People are being supportive of each other's projects. And
That's
stuff.
really good. Behind me and the shelf up there, there's a couple Kickstarter projects that that I've successfully helped fund with my couple dollars. And I'm always so happy. Like you said, it's always such a rewarding experience to know that, hey man, this is somebody's dream, and if you can, put in a little bit and kick a little bit, come on, that's nothing to help somebody reach their dream. To get back to the product itself, was this, when you did this music, was it always from the start the idea to bring it to life with comic book? Was there ever a thought of I don't know, paintings or I don't know, crochet or any other medium?
No, honestly, it wasn't even that. It was basically a lot of them were written during the pandemic when I had nowhere else to put my energy and stuff. Some of them were a couple years before that, and they were kind of just sitting there unfinished, and I just found myself with a lot of energy to go back on these songs and finish them. I wasn't really thinking of what this could be until I had a whole group of these songs, and then I started kind of thinking about, okay, what can I do with this? How can I put this together? And I've felt for the last many years now that basically being a musician now, you can't just release music, can't just release an album anymore, and it's not, I love albums, and the curmudgeon and the get off my lawn part of me is like, oh man, that sucks. I just want to make an album, but it's, that I try and see the positive side of that. And what's creative about that situation? What can I do to make this stand out? Because that's the thing. You just release music. Anybody can release music. Like you and I we could record this conversation, and when we hang up, we could put it on Bandcamp, and that could be our album, our duet. And so what? I mean, great, but like, who's going to hear it? Because there's so much stuff out there. Sure. So I feel like there's got to be some ways to stand out. So I started thinking about that, and then I started noticing that these batch of songs, were really more story oriented than a lot of stuff I've done in the past. They just had characters. So I started visualizing that, like, what could that look like with videos maybe, or like, and then I just hit on comic books, like, wow, that would be kind of cool, and started visualizing what that could look like. And then initially I was thinking, okay, maybe I'll just get one artist to do this whole thing, but they're not really connected. I am actually working on another project that's going to be like maybe my next Kickstarter down the road. That's more of a concept album. That's like a kind of a rock opera. That's one story all the way through the songs. But this one's not that. This one is just, it jumps around. And so I hit on this idea of like, what about getting all these different artists to do each song and kind of bring it to life like that? So it really was after the fact. I wasn't thinking about it when I was writing the song. And even like, I think the newest song on there, which is only from a few months ago, is called Crocus. And it's really about a flower, a bulb in the ground that's just hiding in the dirt, waiting to burst out in spring. I wasn't even going to be on the album, so I definitely wasn't thinking of that as a comic, but then I just kind of started liking it, and I'm like, I sent it to an artist and was like, what can you do with this? And she's working on it. I haven't seen it yet, but I think it's going to be cool. But anyway, so they kind of fit what the songs already were, I guess.
Right. Oh, wow. How was, I'm curious, because I mean, I can only imagine creating music is not something you do overnight. That is a process. So between, like, what was the timeline of the process of creating the music, and then add on to what was the timeline, the process of doing the artwork and getting the artwork back?
I think, so the songs, I mean, I would say over the last 3 years is when I was writing the songs. The bulk of them are the last like year and a half, I bet. But a lot of them, there's quite a few that I started before that, and I just kind of finished it lately. And some of them, I mean, you'd be surprised. Sometimes it's like the cliche, like inspiration strikes, and I sit down and like I go start to finish in like a few hours in one night or something, or I stay up real late. I got to do everything after bedtime because I got 2 young kids. So there's no, daddy can't just shut himself in his studio for the day. So yeah. It's just, I don't know. I just don't sleep. That's all. But so that happens sometimes. More often, I would say more of them, I get like the basic idea down, the basic feel, the groove, and then I just kind of add instruments and add arrangements and play with it over time. A couple of them have been, I started out one way and totally reworked it, just kind of like, this is not working. Let's start from scratch. Let's use the same tempo, maybe the same drum beat, but let's just do something else. So I would say, I definitely was intensively working over all these songs the last year and a half. And then the comics really, I mean, I think it was maybe January or February that I initially reached out to my friend and started contacting some artists. I think the first strips, like the first 3 or 4 page things I got back were maybe February or March, I think. And then and even then I still hadn't decided, like, is this a Kickstarter thing? Is this like, what am I doing? Am I shopping this to labels? Like, what is this? Right. But sometimes when you're creating something, you kind of just have to go with it and see where it goes, and then sit back and say, okay, what am I going to do with this? Like, how do I get anybody to notice this? Do I want anybody to notice this? I feel like it's 2 different sides of the brain. There's the creative side, and then there's kind of what I think of as like the admin side. Like, all right, let's take stock, let's organize, let's put things in some files, some folders, and then let's see who we're going to send this to. What could this be? Who could I invite in to work on this? That kind of thing. So that period, I think, has been definitely all this year.
Yeah, wow. I mean, kudos to you, because, it, like you said, it's one thing to be like, I'm just going to be creative and just let it come out, and I don't care what happens. But it's a whole nother thing to be like, all right, I've got to manage this, and the business side, that the acumen that says, okay, yeah, I know my time is valuable. I know my effort is valuable. I think that there is weight to this work, and I think it should be out there and for people to ingest. And I couldn't agree with you more. You made the comment earlier that, like, we're just inundated with media, YouTube and Facebook and all these things, and places where you could, like you said, you can listen to music, and people are putting stuff. How much stuff is put onto YouTube in a day? Hundreds of millions of hours of clips are uploaded. So it's how do you stand out, and how do you make it unique? And I think you've hit the mark. I think you've hit the mark with that, because it's definitely interesting. Yeah. I'm curious your vision of how you want people to ingest this media. Is it listen to the song and then read it? Is it do both at the same time? Is it one or the other? What's your take on that?
I think part of the cool thing is that it's up to everybody, that it's a little bit interactive like that. Like you could just read the comic while you're not listening to the music and just enjoy it for like these little sort of stories, little vignettes. And then of course you could listen to the music, and realistically a lot of people are going to do it that way, because how often do you have time to like sit down and listen to a record? But I hope, I also hope I'm looking forward to when I get the actual record and the actual comic book. I want to sit down in front of the speakers and put the record on and read through the comic. I want to see if it works like that. Like, I don't know yet, but that's the genesis of the idea, was like, okay, what if you could sit in your chair and you could take this music in and you could turn these pages like and read along, like those records that I had as a kid that had the little like ding, like turn the page now, like the Disney records or whatever. I mean, my kids have some old ones. I know I had some, but they're kind of like that, like follow along with the story while you're turning the pages. I mean, realistically, I don't think it has to be like that, and I think hopefully it works either way. But that's the ultimate, I think, for me.
Absolutely,
I would like to do that.
I'll tell you what. So as the layman, as the person, I don't know music, I don't know. I'm the average consumer. That's my superpower. I'm the average consumer. You sent the files over, and without any direction, you gave no direction. The first thing I did was I opened the music, and I listened to a few seconds, and I stopped. And then I opened the file with the imagery, and I kind of looked at it for a second, and I stopped. And I was like, huh. And I just went back, restarted the track, and then just kind of followed along in the story. And it was an experience. It's so, like, I can't equate it to anything, because I can't remember the last time I listened to something and followed along that wasn't like the Disney sing-along, right? Where you're like reading the bouncing thing and following the song. But being able to, I don't know, man, it's weird. The closest I can think of was like having a music video, like almost like in your hands, where you're looking at these images and the music's kind of bringing it to life. And I want to thank you, because it was such a stimulating experience for me, because I'm like, I'm reading and I'm listening, and I'm like, it's weird because it's matching in my head, like the vocals and the sounds, and I can hear, because you have the different people speaking, so I could literally hear it, but then also kind of visualize. I don't know. I'm doing a terrible job of selling this. I apologize, but
no, yeah, you're selling me anyway.
I got to tell you how amazing this was. I got to tell you how amazing this was. But no, I really did enjoy the experience. So I mean, obviously you've got my support. I'm going to be backing it right after this call. But it was, because I for those that might be jealous, I got like one or two. I didn't get the whole thing. Okay, I need to hear the whole thing.
Yeah.
But
I don't have the whole thing either yet. So okay.
There you go. It's a work in progress. But I want that full. What was it? The 96 page or 56 page, whatever it was. I want to feel the weight, because even that was different, because I was looking at a computer screen, right, and listening to my headphones. So I do think there's something physical about being able to hold the comic book and flip through the pages versus I'm like scrolling on my wheel on my mouse. But I think there is something visceral about that. It's very the senses. It's sensory driven, and I'm excited, man. I'm excited to be able to hold that and to listen and to experience it. Kaz says, seriously creative dude. So there you go, man. You gotten some kudos.
I mean, this is all great to hear. I mean, honestly, you're one of the first people outside of the sort of what I call the family of people who are actually working on this, which is me and like, you know, the artists and then the other musicians who played on some of the guys. But even they have not seen the art. So to actually kind of see the whole thing, I really don't know what the experience is going to be like for people, and it's just so interesting. It's going to be really interesting to see everybody's reaction and kind of get it out there and see what happens.
Well, if they're like me, they're gonna love it. They're really gonna love it. But again, I know nothing about music. I'm the first to admit it. I could not. I like, you know, I know the sound of a bass and the sound of a guitar, but like I don't know about rhythm and beats and all those things. But I know comic books and I love art. I love the independent creative stuff. You know, I love going to Comic Cons. One of my favorite things about going to Comic Cons is to walk Artist Alley, right? Because you have all the retailers, you have the celebrity appearances and signatures, but then you have Artist Alley. It's this pure channel of just creative people that aren't, you know, these big name Chris Claremont and you know whatever. Like it's just these everyday like people that are like it's the grassroots of art. It's the you know, the realist form of art, and that's one of my favorite things to do is just go from table to table and see the different interpretations of characters and different, you know, one guy's working in watercolor, one guy's he's burning characters into wood. You know, one of my favorites is a guy who takes glass, just this glass pane, does like black paint on it, and then scratches away and does his artwork in this like negative space of glass against black. It's crazy.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing artwork. But that's, you know, that's what I put you up with.
Yeah, no, that's great, man. I mean, I'm so honored that you to even be considered in that company. I mean, one of the things I've learned doing this project is just working with these artists. What an incredible amount of work it is to make these comics like panel by panel. Because some of them have been sending me. I told everybody, like, if you can send me for my promo, like you can film yourself working on the stuff, and you know, I'll make something cool out of it. And a couple of guys have done that. One guy, Patrick Lugo, who did I think I sent you that one, the song Killer. He just came back with this fucking far out sci-fi interpretation of it. It was so right on, because the song is a real like glam rock kind of stoner rock kind of thing, and it's actually about robot sex. So actually the comic made complete sense. And he sent me this thing like a work in progress, like kind of sped up, you know, stop fast motion video, whatever, of him just doing one panel, like this top panel. The amount of work, you know, to see him pencil out the skyline in the background, and then the character's face, and then this, and then go back and ink it, you know, and then go back and add colors, and just even sped up was a couple minutes long. I mean, it takes hours to do this stuff, and it's very amazing for me to see these guys and girls putting this work in to my songs. It's just kind of like, wow, you know, like this has life that's living out there beyond just me in my studio with my headphones on, which is what it normally is, you know. So it's given me definitely, I always respected comic book artists, but it's given me even more respect now. It's just the work that these guys do it's really incredible.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, you could almost equate it to, you know, doing music, right? Where it's like, you know, first you got to lay down, figure out what's the beat, and then the hook, and you can tell I know nothing about music, but you know, you write the lyrics, write this, you know, the score and all these things, and it's the same way with art, where it's like, okay, you know, outline, and then, you know, pencil, and then ink, and then it's a process. it's definitely a process. But no, that's super cool. So while we still have people's attention, and they're not tired of hearing me talk, where are you on social media? Where can people follow you? How can people show support? Like, give us the details.
Yeah, I mean, best those are all listed on the Kickstarter, so that would be the best like jumping off point to check out the campaign. And then I have all my links. I'm on Bandcamp as the Eargoggle, EEARGOGGLE. You know, my other two albums are on there, and this one will be eventually, I guess. I'm on Instagram as Very Special Recordings, which is kind of the label that I created to put my own stuff out. So you can check me out on all those, and all those links are on the Kickstarter. So
and if you're looking at the chats, we do have a link to the Kickstarter in the chats. Thanks, Skaz. So definitely once this is over, click over to that. Make sure you support it. You're gonna see me on there because I'm gonna throw my support there because, like I said, I need to have a physical copy. Like that's where it's at, man. I know the future is digital, but I still love me a physical copy. God, I love it.
I'm like I said, I'm a comics nerd, but I'm an even bigger record nerd. I mean, I gotta something about holding the record, even flipping it over. I'm not like a purist, like it sounds better on record. I think it kind of does, but it's all your taste. It's not that it's better than digital, but just something about having the music in your hands, spinning the record like that, looking at the art on the cover, reading the liner notes. It's just different for me than when it just comes streaming on your phone or through your Bluetooth speaker or whatever. And I realize that's just how we have to listen to music a lot of times, and that's fine. But for me, it's just when I have a relationship to an album, I always think of like, that record that I put on and listen to, or even, if it's real back in the day. I mean, I had like every time I hear the Smashing Pumpkins, like Siamese Dream, I just remember this summer that I had that cassette in the car and it was like stuck in my cassette player, and I never bothered to figure out how to get it out because I just drove around listening to it the whole summer. That was my relationship with that.
Yeah, and there's something about like, look at like physical money, right? We're all using credit cards now and debit cards and Venmo and all these digital stuff, but like there's something about like you're holding a dollar, you're holding a physical currency that says, okay, this has value. I can feel this. I can control it. It's in my grasp.
Right.
If the computers fail, it's not all gone. Like I still am holding it.
Right. That's right.
So yes. So I definitely could not agree with you more.
Yeah. Plus, the man's tracking you on all those MP3s. You get a record, he can't find you. He can't tell where you are.
Yes,
what you do.
Exactly. So you go on this online site so that you can get off the grid.
Exactly right.
Just give them your shipping address. This is the last time.
Credit cards are fine.
All right. Last thing, man. I'm curious as a self comic book nerd. You call yourself. We talk a lot, obviously, about movies and TV and all the different media and things. How do you feel about the current climate of superhero movies? Are you oversaturated with it? Are you excited for more, or where do you land?
I mean, I have to admit I'm kind of oversaturated. I haven't I'm not the guy who goes out, even pre-COVID, who was going out to the multiplex to see like the latest Avengers, whatever. Okay. I mean, I've checked them out eventually, but that's not me. Like my phase of being that into X-Men and Avengers and Fantastic Four was definitely like in grade school and high school. And since then I moved on to indie comics. Like, I discovered like Love and Rockets and all this other stuff back in the day. And now that's more where my taste lies. So in movies, I mean, I got to be honest that it's been a very rare superhero movie that's actually a good movie. I feel like our bar has kind of lowered because all of us are kind of like, that was pretty good, like for a superhero movie. Like the last Avengers movie I saw, it wasn't bad. But that's what I mean. It wasn't bad. I kind of expected it to be bad because it was a big budget Hollywood movie, and I get that it's great to watch that on the big screen and with the sound and the effects and everything. But I also like good movies. I like characters and sort of like interesting kind of I don't know. I like drama. I like all that stuff. Good writing. I think good writing is kind of what's missing in all those. I think the best. You know what the best superhero anything I saw. And this is like several years old. But what was that? Was that X-Men spinoff that was on TV? It was like Legion. Do you remember that one?
Yes.
That I thought that first season of that. The second one I thought it wasn't that good, and I didn't even check out the third. The first one was like a really wild.
Yeah, it was way out there, man. Way out there.
I mean, it was really out there, and it was like there were parts of it that were just kind of like this weird indie film.
Yeah.
But you could tell there was something kind of supernatural that was about to happen or whatever, and it just was really cool. I like stuff like that. I like when it's mixed. I think there's potential there that hasn't really been mined. For sure. I think because of the imperatives of the major studios are like, it costs so much money to make these movies. They got to make so much money. Yeah. They got to appeal to everybody. And
the mass appeal. Yep. Yeah.
appeal all over the world. So
The
they
Marvel
can't
formula,
really
they call it, right?
Yeah, so I guess that's what kind of turns me off of that. I'm hungry for something more.
You know, you would get along with my co-host Radar so well. You guys are peas in a pod. Let me tell you. While I'm a sucker for the stuff, admittedly, I'm like the guy that, like, every time they announce a new iPhone, I'm like, yes, the new iPhone. Like, it's Marvel. I love it. But I also get excited for the next Madden that comes out, because that's different. It's got a new number on it. I love it. But no, there's nothing wrong with that. I can absolutely appreciate. I think some of the indie stuff that's out there is incredible, really good. I think some of the even if you don't say, okay, maybe not indie, but the smaller publishing houses, things like Image and Dark Horse and a couple of the other ones that the Umbrella that gave us the Umbrella Academy, or they gave us Why the Last Man, or these series that are not mass appeal. They're very small and kind of their own story, but if you give them the chance, they're phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
So definitely people go out there and read, support the small guy for sure. But yeah, once again, the hour flew by, man. This has been such a fun conversation, man. Thank you so much for coming out here, guys. We got a ton of people watching in the audience, and they're very excited. You can't see the chats, but they're just, everybody's going through the old school. We're talking about cassette tapes and playing their original NES, and they're going down.
These are my people.
Yeah, everybody's going down memory lane. So they're having a good time tonight. Guys, my guest tonight has been Ezra Gale. Please check out his Kickstarter campaign. It's an incredible project. I'm so excited to see it come to fruition. In fact, I know it will. So when it does, and I get in the mail, I'm gonna share. I'm gonna put up some pictures on our page and talk about it on the show once it does come out, because I know it will. Yeah, and with that, Ezra, it's been awesome. I'm gonna toss this to break, guys. Everybody saying farewell to you in the chats. So give everybody a wave, because they're saying hi. All right, guys.
Thank you for everybody. You
yes,
guys are awesome.
Absolutely. Guys, we will be back after a short break. Don't go anywhere. Shots.
You're listening to the sounds of WTF Nation Radio. Of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Welcome back. Sorry, I get nostalgic. Talking to this guy got me all nostalgic all of a sudden. Sorry.
Nostalgic. You sounded like you were a professional radio host there for me. You're like, hi everybody.
Everybody. Welcome back. I should probably put Radar back on the screen to let people know that he's still here.
Hey, ain't nobody.
Mr. Radar. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for being the creepy uncle hiding in the closet and just like,
hey, it's cool. It's cool.
One of these days, man.
Because it's one of them deals too. Like I don't want to. People come to see you and the guest. I'm like filler. I'm background.
Nobody comes to see me. Let's be honest. Nobody comes to see me.
Whatever you come on with that radio voice again, people are like, "Oh my god, I think you're like." All right, welcome to Pop Culture Warrior.
Welcome to Pop Culture Warrior.
Welcome back to Pop Culture Warrior. We're here at WTF Nation Radio.
We're live here at WTF Nation Radio. Welcome back.
Absolutely.
I definitely have a voice or a face for radio, right? That's what they're saying. So what'd you think, dude? I really thoroughly enjoyed my conversation. What did you feel about it?
I loved it. You know me, dude. Like I love all our guests. I'm honestly flattered when people like take an hour out of their night to come to us. You know what I mean? Yeah, yep, I'm the creepy uncle. You're the best stepdad. That's exactly
that's right.
But I mean,
love you, Dad.
And you're right. Him and I do share a lot of those things.
Yeah.
We get along.
Every time he would talk, I'm like, him and Radar would get along. Him and Radar would definitely get along. No, yeah, that would I really do hope that this project gets off the ground. I mean, it's so close. It's right there.
Yeah, it really is.
I'm gonna put in my bid here as soon as we log off. I'm gonna put in my bid here for the physical. Let me see, what was it? I know I gotta get the physical. Whatchamacallit.
Time to get physical.
Time to get physical. I think it was what, $30 gets you the whole double album, PDF, the comic book, and the record. Oh, that'd be cool to just that's for $30.
We should have asked him for one, like something for when we do a next giveaway.
Well, I might just order it, and I'm that kind of guy. I'll do it as part of a giveaway.
Cause is right, and I was trying to do the math. He's only like $200 to $300 short.
All right, so close, so close. Yeah. I'm definitely. Yeah. Oh, that's even closer than because before when I looked at it, I was like, oh, it's like $400 away. It's gonna, and yeah, y'all guys are backing it as we speak because now it's only less than $200 away.
Cool.
So God bless
awesome.
y'all. It's happening as we speak. But yeah, no, as soon as we log off, I'm because I'm not putting my stuff in while I'm live on the
right.
Give you people my credit card information. But yeah, I'm looking at it now for like $30. $30 gets you all the digital stuff plus a physical comic plus a physical double record.
Yep.
Like, come on, for $30.
Yeah.
I spend more than that on a freaking pack of Magic cards. Like, come on. I'm like, I feel like I'm pitching it now. Like, come on, guys, $30.
Well, I mean, yeah, and that's just absolutely. I'll pitch it.
If five of us really pitch in $30, that's it. It's live. It's happening. It's coming out. So anyway, like Radar, it's coming out any day now. Mm-hmm. But no, I really enjoyed Ezra Gale, who, by the way, crushed the name first time go. I was like, yeah. That doesn't happen very often. I can say names.
That never happens.
That never happens. Right, Bri? Hey, she's calling me out. I see you there. All right. With that, we've come to the end of another edition. Now you got me wanting to do the radio. We've come to another edition of Pop Culture Warrior on WTF Nation Radio. Brownie points. Thank you. I get brownie points. Do I get all my child support I didn't get for? You guys are funny tonight. You guys are funny.
Yeah, they woke up. I'm happy at them.
Mike Larson. Mike Larson in the chats. Yeah, God bless you, Mike. Mike says he put in 30, man, and he's now over the 5,000 mark. We are so close. God bless you, son. God bless you. You're a good man. I'm gonna put in my 30.
You're not wrong, cause there's really no other way to say it. There really is no other way to say it. I'm sure CQ could figure out a way to.
Sorry, I got distracted. What now?
Oh, cause is making fun of you.
Oh yeah. What else is new? What else is new? All right, guys.
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
We wrap it up. I think it's about time to wrap it up.
Let's put a. Let's. What was it? What is it that I said that one time? Let's pin a tail on this donkey. I don't know. Something like that. I don't know.
Let's throw a saddle on this donkey or something.
Yeah. Let's put a button on it. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's.
You did say that. You said let's put a button on this.
I don't know what that means. I just like saying it.
You said it.
I don't know what it means. Let's just put a button on it.
You know what I think it means?
What?
I think it means that you're apologizing for being wrong about the word.
For those of you that missed it earlier, you know what? No, screw that. Before we log off, because usually we have a different audience towards the end of a show than we did at the beginning.
Ew.
For those of you,
I want Kaz to see this.
Kaz, I see y'all. Kaz, Captain Wayne, Bry, Mike. For those of you that missed it earlier, last week, Mr. Radar accused me the previous week of calling his theory stupid and or dumb, and
or
dumb, and ish dumb. And so I have a clip now. I will play for y'all, and I want you to be the judge. Do I owe Radar an apology? Here we go. How do I do this? Hang on. I was not prepared to play this a second time. Hang on. There it is. There we go. All right. Do I owe Radar apology? Watch the video and then let us know in the chats. Do I owe Radar apology? My theory is that it's Loki.
I said it last week. You said it was stupid.
Not our Loki. Not our Loki.
Loki.
A Loki.
Stop. Because I said that a week ago and you said that was dumb. I'm kind of mad at you right now. So I'm pretty sure you said that there's no way it's a fucking thing.
I refuse.
Pretty sure about it, dude. Pretty sure about it.
We will go back to the tape.
Called me stupid.
We will go back to the tape. It's recorded evidence. We're gonna go back to the tape and we're gonna see if I will tell you this right now. If I said it's a Loki theory was dumb, I will apologize.
Okay.
If we go back and check the tape, I will publicly apologize to our man Radar here.
So we know the timekeepers are fake.
Right.
Ish.
These timekeepers anyway.
There has to be someone is in
Somebody's
charge.
doing something.
I have a different idea. And one of the guys at work and I were talking about this. What if it's another Loki?
It's possible.
Because and here's the reasoning behind it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a far out there, and it's probably not. I mean, let's be honest.
It's possible. All right, we're fucking giggling over here because this shit's so stupid. All right, people, you've seen the evidence. You are the judge. Do I owe Radar an apology? That version, first of all, that is a very false news version.
What do you mean it's a fake news version?
There is some serious pro Radar agenda like editing going on there. That was not a hard cut of the truth. That was very edited with a slant to it, first of all. But
I didn't make it. I didn't make that.
Radar, to his credit, did not make it.
Radar slant. Radar didn't make it.
But I think it was a Radar sympathizer. A Radar sympathizer made it for sure.
A Radar. There's no such thing. Yeah, after it's a Stonekeepers. That's right.
That's right. So earlier I was vindicated, and I just wanted to with our late audience. I just wanted to make sure that it is public, common knowledge that I did not insult our fair Radar.
You didn't say it. You didn't come out with your mouth words.
I think you need to apologize to me for accusing me of saying that it was dumb and stupid.
You didn't say it with your mouth hole. Okay? It didn't fall out of your mouth hole, but your body language said a whole other thing. So I think you win on technicality.
I'll take a technicality win. I'll take it. These hips don't lie, baby. What can I say? I'm
It's fine, dude. Yep. Your mouth word said one thing, but
oh my god, I'm completely out of it at this point. Oh man. Justine says, please turn Radar mimicking you into a GIF. I need to be able to send that exaggerated eye roll to people.
That's his eye roll. That's not exaggerated on his end.
Wait, are you saying my exaggerated eye roll? That like that one, or did I miss Radar eye rolling me as well? Oh Jesus!
Don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it, dude. It's fine.
Oh man.
Your mouth words said one thing, but your body language said another. It's fine.
Yeah. I think Ms. Bray likes your mouth words. Your mouth words comment. Dude, you like if somebody was smart, like they would capture all your quips and just make T-shirts out of it. Like, cause like
I thought you were the smart one.
I'm the show one. I bring all that out of you, but someone else has to capture it, man. I like you gotta have like the because you had the sorry about it T-shirt. You have to have the your it didn't fall out of your mouth hole. Like, that's got to be a shirt because your mouth works.
Your mouth works.
Oh God! All right, we have completely got off the rails tonight. I apologize to all like 3 people watching right now. I apologize.
I know we have six live. Everyone's like wrapping it up. It's fine. It's fine. You know what? It's been an odd Tuesday.
It's been an odd Tuesday.
It has been an odd Tuesday. And you know what though? It's God, I don't know what to do with my life now tomorrow.
Oh, we're both. I just realized we're both looking real scruffy, man.
We are, especially when I was seeing like the older videos, because I went from well, not Pookie beard, but I went from beard to no beard.
Yeah.
And I'm getting like a neck beard going, and I don't know what to do with it. So I'm in that mode where I kind of want to grow it back, but I kind of want to shave it, especially when it's like 105 degrees out.
Yeah, I don't blame you. But all right, we've kept these fine people long enough with our ramblings. They don't want to hear about neckbeard anymore. With our mad ramblings and ridiculousness and our mouth hole words.
My mouth hole and my neck roll.
So Radar, sir,
yes.
Would you please provide us more mouth words? And let words fall out of your mouth hole about what people can tune into this week.
Well, you've been listening to Pop Culture Warrior on WTF Nation Radio. Same shit. You come.
Gross.
Anyway, you have been listening to us. That's Tuesday night. Tomorrow night, Wednesday, Dawn's Day, we will not be here. It is a day off. Then Thursday, Soren's time, but Ice is on vacay. So, sorry about it. He ain't gonna be here. So we'll have no show scheduled this Thursday. But what? What are you doing? What's that look?
There may be a surprise Thursday.
Well, if you say a word, it's not a surprise. Here's the deal. If you get a notification from us, and in fact, if you want to be notified, turn your notifications on for WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments. For when we go live, it will show up in your newsfeed. You'll get a notification from us or from ICE or whomever that says, hey, you have a show, and you can watch it and hang out and interact in the chats. Ask us questions. Come at us. We're here for you. Just saying. Okay. Rant over. So if there's something special on Thursday, I don't know about it. Sorry, I'm just a co-host. Yeah, all right then. Friday night, you got Friday Night Freedom with Kaz and Pookie. Yeah, give them a listen. Good show. Now, Saturday, Sunday. I don't know if you guys know this. It's a weekend. We won't be here. Sorry about it. Monday, the Monday edition with Ice. But is there going to be a special thing going on Monday that I don't know about? Maybe, maybe not. It'll be a surprise for all of us. Well, probably not for CQ because he knows all. Anyway, then after Monday is a Tuesday, and on Tuesdays we will be here. Pop Culture Warrior with CQ and Radar.
Yes. All of those things. Also, I'm super excited. Real quick, I'll just let you guys know that we've got just a phenomenal slate of shows coming, like really, really good. We've had a good string. I'm always trying to, pull in people from the entertainment industry, actors, producers, directors, writers, what have you. We've had a good bit of run of luck lately. Next week we have, oh my God, hang on one second, because it's on the tip of my tongue.
Just the tip.
His name is, and I'm getting back to, I'm gonna butcher the names. Anthony Revivar. Review VR. I'm gonna spend this week learning how to say it. Anthony Riviar. Shut up. Fuck you. Shut up. How would you pronounce Ruivivar?
Not. Do you smell toast?
It's gonna cause me to stroke out. Anyway, he's an incredible actor. He's been in a bunch of things. TV from The Haunting of Hill House, Blue Bloods, Frequency, Scream.
I love Blue Bloods.
Yes, he's been in a bunch of movies. And he just completed a turn on the new Disney Plus show, Turner and Hooch, the rebooted classic Turner and Hooch.
Yes.
So you're gonna see him in that as well. So he had roles in Starship Troopers, in Tropic Thunder, in Third Watch. So this guy's been around. He knows his thing or two.
Tropic Thunder. I should watch that again. That's a funny movie.
Oh my god, I just watched it the other day. I loved it still. So we got him coming on. We have August 3rd. I have to take a week off. So apologies. August 3rd, I won't be here. We had a guest. We rescheduled him. He'll be here later. August 10th. August 10th is one I'm really excited about, man. So it's not a traditional celebrity in the sense of in movies and TVs and in the world, but we have kind of our first YouTube-ish celebrity-ish person.
What do you mean celebrity-ish? They're more famous than we are.
Oh well, that goes without saying. That's most people you meet in the world.
They don't have a podcast.
This guy goes by Frankly Built on YouTube. He has an incredible channel where he builds. He obviously has a passion for Marvel stuff like I do, but like whereas I go and buy all this stuff, he builds it himself and doesn't just build replicas, but like working prototypes. He's got like a Mark 49 armor that like the helmet closes and lights up and shoots lasers and like it's crazy. So I'm super excited to talk to him about
Did he build like a Mjolnir too? Like
he built everything.
All kinds of crazy shit. It's
Everything. He did an Iron Man suit based on when Tony gets the Infinity Gauntlet. Like he gets it's the Iron Man suit, but it has the light up gems and it's all torn up and it's crazy. Kid's super talented. And you're gonna learn a lot about him and the process and the stuff that he does, and it's gonna be a great interview. We have just a ton more. We're booked all the way to like middle of September, and I don't want to spoil any of the guests that are coming, but there's gonna be it's gonna be awesome. And yeah, Captain Wayne, does he have a couple videos? Yeah, he has a whole YouTube channel with hundreds of videos and like 600,000 subscribers. So yeah, he's
legit. And like legit. Honestly, too, some of his stuff like it comes up on mine, and I didn't know the name because like you scroll through Facebook like when you're pooping or whatever,
you just see stuff.
Videos that come up, and like there's been videos that's been his like Infinity Gauntlet and like his fucking Mjolnir and stuff.
Oh
it's
yeah, his stuff has been shared all across the internet. I mean, it's a popular. He's probably, in my opinion, one of the best builders because it's not just a costume replica, but it's like working replicas. Like he's got the opening chest plates and the helmet to come down and the lights and the sounds and it's incredible.
It's basically as realistic as modern science can provide.
Yeah. It's everything except flight and actual like bulletproofness because it's mostly like plastic. But
he doesn't have like actual fucking Jarvis and stuff.
But it's awesome. So that's just the tip of the iceberg. The stuff that's coming out over the next couple weeks and next couple months, it's gonna if you guys have been here and you've seen the progression of, I don't want to say the quality of guests because that sounds horrible for people that were here before, but if you've noticed that there are more and more people that you've heard of the things they've done or recognize them, that trend will, like a parabolic arc, it's going to spike, and very soon, and there will be some notable folks that you would recognize from different things.
We should have reached out to Scarlett Johansson's people. For the
you think I haven't?
Don't they do like a
they do press stuff?
Press tour.
They don't. I'm sorry. I hate to say it. They don't do fucking janky little podcasts. That's.
Maybe you need to use your radio voice more. Hi.
Hi. This is CQ.
It's Scarlett Johansson.
This is CQ from Pop Culture Warrior calling for Scarlett Johansson.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Dude, first of all, I've reached out to her. Yeah, I have. They very politely told me to go fuck myself. So
I don't think it was even that polite, actually.
Very kindly, go fuck yourself. Yeah, they don't do even. I'll just a peek behind the scenes. They don't even do one-on-one interviews anymore. Like a lot of these people,
they just kind of do like a release of things, right?
Yeah, what they'll do is like if you're like, fucking Good Morning America, obviously they'll come on and do your thing. Like if you're huge. But for a lot of the smaller news outlets and stuff, they'll do like teleconference where every magazine will call in. Everybody takes turn asking a question, but everybody gets the same candid answer, right? Nobody's getting an exclusive. Right. And they'll do that because it's just one interview, takes up like an hour or two of their time, and then they just basically did 25, 30, 40 interviews at once.
And they kind of, and what they don't have on there, they just kind of set out like a
press releases.
Basically. Yeah.
It's the whole, like when you get to that level, when you get to the AAA level, you're not doing the sit downs with fucking, JoeSchmo.com. Like
we're not JoeSchmo.com. We are Pop Culture Warrior
on WTF Nation Radio.
Yeah. It's for the vets.
All right, guys. Well, that's enough from us this week. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. If you have recommendations for people you would love to see on the show that you actually think would come on this show, send them to me, and I guarantee you I will reach out. I just I had a friend of the show just reach out and gave me like 6 names, 2 TikTokers, 2 YouTube personalities, 2 whatever, and I reached out, and some of them actually responded. So yeah, if you have people, I see Captain Wayne says get Josh Blue. Not sure Josh Blue off the top of my head, but I will find out and I will reach out. If that's people you guys want to see, you are the if you are sitting here right now watching me ramble, you are the people I want to make happy. You are the people that I want to enjoy watching the show. So you right there, you send me a message. Send Pop Culture Warrior the page a message. Let me know who you'd like to see on the show. And by God, please be realistic. Because yes, I would love Scarlett Johansson. She's not going to come on the show. Sorry, she won't.
She's retired now.
With a 99.9% accuracy, she won't. She will not come on.
She's retired.
She will not come on.
Better to do.
She will not come on.
Now. She can come on.
She will not come on. I don't care if she's 80 and retired. She's not going to come on the show. She's just not.
I don't know. Once that Black Widow money runs out, you don't know.
If we got turned down by a certain AT&T girl, I don't think we're going to be pulling. We're going to be pulling down Scarlett Johansson. I still blame you for that.
Pedro. Wait, you know what? When she was talking about it, and then she said nah, and then we.
I blame you for that. I don't know why. She said yes to me, and then when we gave her information about the show, I feel like they looked into it and heard you, and they're like, no.
You know what? It's fine. We have Pedro, so
we had Pedro.
I'm actually really more happy about that.
Yeah,
so
we had Pedro.
We've had way bigger. And we're gonna.
I've had better. I've had way better.
Yeah, and we've been. I mean. We've been turned down by way better too.
Yeah.
So
I got turned down by Denzel Washington's people. Yeah, I tried.
Yeah.
I tried. They were very nice. Though? They were surprised.
Someday they are going to be knocking on our door.
That's right. I will say, for those again, peek behind the curtain because I'm a full transparency kind of guy. I've had PR companies take note of what we're doing here and reach out to have their guests, their clients come on our show. Sarah Minnick, who came on, 2 weeks ago, Army of the Dead, really, I mean, wonderful actress, so sweet, had a great conversation. Her people reached out to me. They pitched her to me. I did not reach out for her. So we're building something.
He's been tired, isn't he?
Jack Nicholson is not going to come on the show. Guys, look, I appreciate that you think. I'll try. Look at it. Yeah, I'm going to capture all these names. I'm going to reach out to Bill Murray. I'll reach out to him. Josh Hader,
And
Napoleon
just
Dynamite.
say, look, Louis Anderson had a blast on our show.
Yeah.
He's got to be buddies with Louis Anderson.
You think
right?
Jack Nicholson is friends with Louis Anderson?
Absolutely.
What fucking multiverse plane are you
Why
on?
Why not? Why would they not be? They're about the same like genre.
They're
about the same
not nowhere close.
What?
That's like saying like Sylvester Stallone and like freaking Jack Black are friends. Like
absolutely. 100%.
No.
They're all A-listers.
There's not like a level that you get into and it's a club and you're all friends. That's not how it works.
You don't think that they don't enjoy each other's work? 100%.
I mean, I'm sure they've seen each other's work on occasion.
Yeah, and they bump into each other at like all these fancy galas and whatnots and have yous, and they like hobnob with each other. And I'm sure Jack Nicholson's like, "What's up?"
Jesus 100%. Christ! Anybody else want to be a co-host for Pop Culture Warrior? I think there's going to be an opening soon. Just think, you could have your very own bubble. You could be right here. Right here. I'm going to put up a little sign like vacancy, like help wanted, right on the radar sign.
Prerequisite, don't be dumb.
Don't give me dumb ideas. But all right. Yeah, fair enough. I see the chats right now. I'm going to reach out to Jack Nicholson. I'm going to reach out to Napoleon Dynamite, Josh Hader. I'm going to reach out to Bill Murray, and I'm going to reach out to Josh Blue. Michael Shea? Is that a person? Shea? Michael Shea? Who's Michael Shea? Michael Shea. Oh, he's a comedian.
Yeah.
He's a comedian.
You're
okay.
a comedian.
Writer, actor, producer. Oh, is he on Saturday Night Live? Oh, God. Oh, I recognize him now. The name didn't sound familiar, but I recognize him. I got you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I got you.
He'll be here. He'll come.
Okay. I'm doing a real quick search of his stuff. Yeah, I got.
You know who we should call, and I know that he'd probably be down. Would be Ron Jeremy. We should get Ron Jeremy in here.
Oh, dude, I met Ron Jeremy. I met him in person.
Yeah, I did too.
This was years ago, and he wasn't looking great, man. Wasn't looking great.
I think he'd be a cool guest, actually.
I feel like it would turn a lot of people off, to be honest.
No, I think it'd be fun. He's done some cool shows. He's done some fun shows. Some of his like what was it? He did like Celebrity Apprentice or some shit.
I'll tell you what. I'll reach out to him.
Reach out to him.
And if he comes on the show, we're gonna swatch. I will be the one that logs out, and you will do the interview.
I'll interview Ron Jeremy 100%, dude. Absolutely.
Right. You're a midget porn star?
Yeah. All right then.
Do you want to come on the show? Like, should I be scheduling you, Bridget Powers, the midget porn star?
Never mind. He just got arrested for 4 counts of sexually assaulting women in West Hollywood.
I mean, are you surprised?
Yes, I'm surprised. 100% I'm surprised.
Okay. Well,
it's Ron Jeremy. Why would you need to assault someone? Whatever, I'm sure. Oh my God. Well, I guess in all fairness, he's like 70 years old.
I mean, his nickname was the Hedgehog. That's not exactly.
He's literally a porn star.
I mean. Whatever. Anyway.
Well, I'm just saying, if he faces 35 counts of criminal rape and other charges, we probably shouldn't have him on.
Probably not. I'm going to go out on a limb and say the boss might frown upon that. Right, yeah.
God damn it, Jeremy. Why did you mess up my dreams? He was.
Wee Man. I would reach out to Wee Man. Wee Man would be fun.
Absolutely. Wee Man's people. There's lots of people that would be so fun to have on here.
Absolutely.
Like when you start like expanding it out, absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. Dude, it's so fun.
Yeah. Hey,
yes.
Here's the thing, guys. There are millions of people. I can only, I can only reach out to who I can think of. So if you guys got some good ideas, you got some good ideas out there.
Bill Cosby's available.
Something tells me he's a little busy at the moment.
Whatever.
He's a little disposed.
Oh.
Predisposed. Anyway, all right, we've gone completely off the rails. God bless y'all. love you, each and every one of you. Thank you for hanging out with us, being silly with us. I feel like sometimes the after show is the most fun part of this. We have no idea what the hell we're talking about. If you have ideas of people you want to see on the show, people that would actually come on the show, let me know. I will get their talent agents, their managers, their publicists, whatever, and I will reach out to them and put in a request. So just let me know, and I'll do that. But I'm gonna capture the names that are on this list, and I'm gonna reach out to them.
Hogan.
Let's see. Brooke Hogan, really?
Yeah, Brooke Hogan.
Really?
That's big fun. Yeah, or her dad, both.
I mean, Hulk Hogan, obviously, I would get that, but Brooke Hogan, really?
Yeah,
What?
she's cool. She's cool, dude.
Is she though? Whatever.
I think it's fun.
David
Hasselhoff? What about David Hasselhoff?
I actually tried to reach out to David Hasselhoff, got no response. I did. What list are you going down right now?
I'll just. Oh, Carrot Top.
I mean, the guy's the guy. I mean, like by definition, he's a legend. By definition, yeah. I mean, however Absolutely. You feel about him, he's a legend. We
should do things. We should get with other podcasters and do like a swap.
What?
Like okay, we'd be on your podcast, they'd be on ours.
Yeah. I mean, I would do that, but nobody's gonna have us on the podcast. Nobody's gonna have us on their podcast.
Yeah, we could do like Bill Burr or something.
Oh my god. Justine says Mark Henry. You know, here's the thing. Yes, he was in the Navy. Here's the thing. When I first started this, I thought, okay, we're military affiliated, right? We're loosely military affiliated. I'm gonna reach out to all the people. And I told you this, Radar. All the people I can think of that served or have connection to the military. Those are the people I'm gonna pitch to. Because of course they would say yes, or at least some, or maybe, or something. So I reached out to all types of celebrities that were military. Adam Driver was Marine. Ice T was in the military. Tom Selleck was in the military. So I reached out to all these quote unquote celebrities that served, that had connection. Not a single one of them said yes. Not a single one.
What about Rob Wiggle?
I did reach out. Rob Riggle. Riggle. No. Riggle. Riggle.
Yeah, Riggle.
Yeah. I did reach out to Rob Riggle, and he said no. That's what I'm saying. Like, it boggles my mind.
Adam Driver? What about Adam Driver?
He said no. Drew Carey. Drew Carey said no. Marine. Yep. If you can think of a celebrity that had military ties, I've already reached out to them, and they've already told me no.
Chris Christopherson?
Chris Christopherson. Who's that?
Yeah, the songwriter.
I don't think I have that one on my list, but songwriter.
Yeah, Drew Carey. Dude, Chris Christopherson, he's like a country guy.
Oh, that's why. You know I don't know country.
But like folk singer kind of like from like he's pretty big like 70s.
Oh God.
Ish.
Shaq was not military affiliated.
His dad was in the army.
Well,
Shaq's dad.
Well, yeah. I mean, I can reach it. Shaq's at that level again. He's at that level of celebrity that he's not going to do.
Like reservist and kind of.
You know. Here's the fucked up thing. Back in the day, I knew Stan Lee. Like, knew him as in I'd met him a few times, and he remembered me mostly because I had my dog with me, and he loved my dog. But I guarantee you, I could, obviously prior to his passing, I could have gotten Stan Lee to do the show. If I did the show 5 years ago, I could have got Stan Lee on here, for sure. Without a doubt. I could have got Stan Lee. That's kind of a bummer that, didn't work out the way. Anyway, yes, Ice-T. Ice-T was Army. Yeah, man,
Ice-T come on with us, though. I fucking would love that, though.
Yeah.
All right, we should probably wrap it up.
Yeah.
We've been like bullshit for like 37 minutes.
Oh man, yeah,
we don't pay. Shaq isn't military, but he literally does commercials for any company. Yeah, but we can't pay.
Yeah, he does it for money.
We are
money. I guarantee if we offered to pay him, he'd be here in a heartbeat.
I can't even afford a pair of his shoes anymore.
Does Shaq have shoes? I don't even
I don't
know.
remember he used to.
I can't afford one of his Papa John's pizzas. Put it that way. Let alone
I mean, I
getting
can
him.
afford pizza.
All right.
All right.
Guys, it has been absolutely lovely having you guys. You guys are awesome, man. Seriously, you guys are the best. We are going to continue to bring you awesome, up-to-the-minute pop culture news, excellent interviews, and lots of apparently ramblings in the third hour, I guess. I don't know. But hey, if you're here, yeah, whatever. We're here for you. So looking forward to hanging out with you guys next week. We'll see you on the other side. Shots. Say bye, Radar.
I'll see you.
Bye.